I just kind of want people to walk away with their stickers feeling happy and just super excited because I know whenever I purchase something, I love it and I use it every single day. And, I just want the same feeling for my customers as well. I was definitely scared. I had no clue what to expect in college. I had no clue, what my dorm situation would be, how I would run a full-time business while in college, but also in 5 classes and doing extracurriculars. At that point, I knew. I was like, I'm going to start this and I'm going to pursue my business in college, and we're going to figure out how to do this while also being a full-time student.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. I'm Ryan, a co-founder of Student Made and host of this show, Making It Creative. Today's episode is a creator story, which means we'll be diving into the journey of one creative entrepreneur from within our Student Made community, how she initially started exploring her creative idea, when she decided to turn it into a business, how her college campus comes into play, and of course, how the Student Made community is helping fuel her growth. The main focus of this episode is going to be on finding community and allowing that to inspire your growth. You can read this story and all of our past creator features on our stories page of our website, studentmadestore.com. That'll also be linked in today's show notes. So before we get started, I would like to give a big thank you to our sponsor for this episode, the Gillum Center for Entrepreneurship within the James Madison College of Business. So with that, we will introduce our guest today, or let her introduce herself rather, and then dive on into the episode.
Hi, thank you so much, Student Made, for having me. My name is Julia Kelly, and you're listening to my story. I am a junior marketing major at James Madison University from Richmond, Virginia, and I'm the founder of Shop Julia Kelly, specializing in stickers, game day buttons, and stationery. I came into college not with an entrepreneurship minor at all. I didn't think I would be interested in that. I did come in with the intention of being a marketing major, and I am still pursuing that, but it has been really cool to be part of the entrepreneurship minor and just learn so much more about business.
Well, honestly, a lot of students we start working with don't consider themselves entrepreneurs. They're just like creators, makers, and they are trying to put something of theirs out there, kind of like how you started.
Yep.
So it's cool how you mentioned this opened you up to being an entrepreneurship minor. How do you look at yourself as entrepreneur? Are you like, how has your perception of that word changed over time?
I would definitely say I am more entrepreneurship minded. I would say that at first, I definitely did not consider myself an entrepreneur, but now over time, I have learned what it looks like to be an entrepreneur and, the ideas that entrepreneurs provide and just being super consistent with their business already and coming up with the new products, I feel like is, you hear the word entrepreneur and you get really scared because it's a big word. And so if you look at it size down, everybody truly is an entrepreneur in their own ways, creating a service or creating product, like everybody can do it. And I think that I have learned that there are just so many people out there that are so creative and just have entrepreneurship like minds.
So we'll start off with just a little background on yourself and how that led into you initially starting your business. Going way back, I think it might be around 5 years. I saw on your Instagram recently a 5-year birthday post. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So Richmond, Virginia. So you're from Virginia. I hear good things about Richmond, kind of a very creative place. Curious just your take on growing up there, what the environment is like, and how that fed into you starting a creative skill and eventually, wanting to start a business with that. Did it have any influence on you with that?
So growing up in Richmond, Richmond never had an influence on me personally. I would say my spirit or my drive for business and just making money definitely started when I was younger. I would say I would always try to find small ways to sell things and, produce them. I would always make slime and sell them at school. And so I think that's where it really began. And then once I was in high school, I was like, oh, I can really take off with this and really pursue a business that I plan to have in the future.
And so did you have like a first set of products there that you were going into business with? But was it slime originally, or that was more of a younger
So
kid?
that was originally, slime was more so when I was in middle school, when that was the new thing. That was
Okay.
what everybody was creating, selling, very popular. And then I kind of took a break because, I mean, making money off slime just was not cut for anybody. And so I took a break for a while. And then when I was a junior in high school, I ended up getting a Cricut for Christmas. And that's when I really started investing my time into my business and kind of watching videos to learn how to run a smooth business.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned the most.
Gotcha. Okay, so junior year of high school, got a Cricut. And so what did
Mhm.
you end up going into? Were you making clothing at the time?
So yes, mostly clothing items, decals, vinyls. That was pretty much what I focused on. And then I ended up creating stickers with my Cricut. That was really fun and
Okay.
a learning process for sure. But once I started growing as a business, I ended up outsourcing my stickers. So I really only use my Cricut when I go home for breaks. That way I can create apparel for people that might need it.
Gotcha. Okay, because I saw we'll get to this a little bit later, your current products, but you have this sweatshirt I saw on your Instagram. It was the Treat People with Kindness, I believe it
Yes,
was. Yeah,
that was an original one.
that was original. Okay. Using
Yes.
Cricut or no?
I
Yes.
used the
Okay.
Cricut for that, and then I made a sticker design out of it as well.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I'm curious to hear a little bit about the brand at the outset of this, like your brand mission, how you envisioned your business looking. Um, like, how did you want it to come across? Did you have like a brand kind of like ethos, mission, like how you wanted people to feel from it, like an emotion from it or connection to your brand? Did you have anything around that? Or is it more just like kind of product oriented, figuring it out at first?
Definitely more product oriented currently. I would say I make a lot of faith stickers and
Mm,
religious stickers, and that's been a huge part of, especially my college journey, honestly. I would say that has really, I would say more so my stickers are collegiate based, but also I have a portion of my stickers that are religious
yeah.
based. And so I just kind of want people to walk away with their stickers feeling happy and just super excited because I know whenever I purchase something, I love it and I use it every single day. And, I just want the same feeling for my customers as well.
I love it. Okay. So did you start with those sticker products as well, like back in high school when you first got into this? That
Yes,
was
so
part of
I
the original.
created
Okay.
rainbow stickers, very simple stickers that came to my mind on my iPad, and I started drawing and just kind of the most random sorts of stickers, and they did well on my Etsy. I posted most of them on my Etsy and they did well. But then that's kind of, a girl actually reached out to me and asked me if I could make JMU stickers. And
Mm,
that's kind of where I started to develop collegiate stickers.
gotcha. Okay. All right. So we'll get to the JMU chapter because we have a ton to cover there.
Okay.
But I guess beforehand, so going back 5 years, that was around your, yeah, I guess sophomore junior year of high
Junior,
school.
yeah, sophomore,
Okay.
junior.
Did you have any specific goals at the time for your business, or who were you selling to? How were you finding customers? Obviously, I think it's a lot easier being on a college campus now, having so many customers
Yeah,
around you. But like,
totally.
were they like fellow students in high school or people in the Richmond community? Like, how did you initially get the word out?
Definitely family. Family supported me a lot. I would say that my friends also supported me. I used to make custom logo stickers. So another friend of mine had a business, and so she bought custom logo stickers.
Okay.
And then I would say honestly, Etsy did a really great job of pushing my products out on their platform, which has been really helpful. And then once I started making the college ones throughout my high school career,
Yeah.
that really went very viral and very quickly. And so I was producing, I mean, May is the busiest season because everybody's graduating. So that was really popular for me.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I know you mentioned in your story that when you kind of transitioned from high school to college, your first instinct was like, I probably can't do this, in addition to being a
Yeah.
full-time student. Is that right? Were you kind of like,
Yeah.
that was kind of the
I was
mentality?
scared.
Yeah.
I was definitely scared. I had no clue what to expect in college. I had no clue, what my dorm situation would be, how I would run a full-time business while in college, but also in 5 classes
Yeah.
and doing extracurriculars. So I had no intention. I think they reached out through DM over the summer, and I thought that it was really cool, but I was like, there's no way.
Student
There's no way I
Made,
could
you
do
meaning
this.
when you were a freshman, Student Made reached
Yes.
out. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love kind of the first inspiration moment that made you feel like you actually could do this,
hmm
which I imagine is like a big relief. So starting this thing in high school, loving it, finding a passion for it, and then being like, well, I'm moving. I don't know where I'll be living. I don't know what my daily life will look like. Did you want to eventually pick it up in college, or did you think like, okay, maybe this was something that's going to end with the start of my college? So this was like a little high school project.
Honestly, I don't really remember much. I remember possibly thinking, oh yeah, I definitely could pick this up in college once I get to a stable point in my life, but I was very shocked, to say the least, when I did stumble upon Student Made
Hmm.
in the community, which is, I mean, Student Made is great, so I'm very glad that I did. But
And it was that
I was
first,
very shocked when I was like, oh wait, I actually want to do this.
and it was that first farmers market, right?
Yes,
On
they're
campus.
on Wednesdays, and we are at the Union.
Okay, so every Wednesday. So you were a freshman, stumbled upon a Wednesday farmers market. I think that was probably Student Made's first year at JMU. Um,
I believe so,
okay,
yes.
yeah. So that was great that they got right into that
hmm
market, because it's huge
Yes.
sales come from that market. And so, I mean, do you remember back to like who you first met there, or what kind of businesses, or like what you were feeling at the time of like, okay, maybe I could actually do this if all these students are running their business while college students.
It was definitely one of the older girls who was running, payment. I went up to them and I vividly remember being like, oh my goodness, is this Student Made? Like, you guys reached out to me over the summer and I told you guys no, but now I want to do this. And she was like, great, submit your application. We'll get you in, we'll get you, set up. And then I also remember meeting Sydney Cropper for the first time. And she had the same kind of vibe as me, stickers, magnets, stationery.
Yeah,
And so I remember meeting her and her being like, you do so well at these farmers markets. Like,
yeah.
people, this is like the prime time to sell your products. And so at that point, I knew. I was like, I'm going to start this and I'm going to pursue my business in college, and we're going to figure out how to do this while also being a full-time student.
Dang. And figuring out how to maybe adapt your products. It's probably going to be a little
Yes.
different than how it looked in high school. So you have like a new
Yep.
rebirth almost. So what was that like? Did you have
Yes.
kind of those branding thoughts early on? Like, okay, what do my products translate here to JMU, or do I need to make something new?
Definitely a rebranding for sure. I think I came into college with a few JMU stickers and I was like, we'll put them out. But over the time of business, like, I've definitely learned what customers like and what they don't like and what kind of stickers they would like. I also had some random, nursing stickers that I set out, and those are pretty popular these days because people are like nursing majors.
Gotcha. Okay. That just reminded me of another JMU guest we had on this show a couple months ago. Ryle's Design Co. Tess Riley. And you just said nursing. Made me think, because that's kind of the origin of her business too. She sent out like encouraging bracelets to nurses during COVID. So
Yes,
where
I
did
do
your
remember that
nursing
part.
where did your nursing influence come from there?
I think I was just trying to find stickers that would be popular. I had a friend back home who was a nursing major at Bon Secours, and she asked for stickers. And so most of the designs that I did produce came from other friends who wanted these kinds of designs. And so I said, sure. And I made it
Yeah.
happen. And I would think people are definitely shocked when I tell them, "Oh, I'm not a nursing major, but I make nursing stickers." So that's pretty funny.
Is it a big major at JMU?
Yes,
Okay,
nursing is very big.
gotcha. Okay, so that's one example, kind of adapting your products to the student population there. How did JMU otherwise like influence your new products? I know it's very school spirit oriented, a lot of
Mhm.
purple. I know you have a lot of
Yes.
designs geared toward that.
I would say they definitely evolved when I started seeing other creators create JMU stickers. And so I would be like, oh, I need to jump on that. And they're
Yeah.
really, really popular. And so I just kind of sat down. I pretty much make like 3 new designs at a time. I print them, make them, sell them, and see how
Mhm.
they do. And they do pretty well. I would say, like, obviously JMU's ones are the most popular.
How many stickers would you? I mean, they're kind of a low price point, right? They kind of have to be. Do you
Yes.
have like a certain strategy of going about selling them? Do you have like sticker packs, or do you have, I don't know, like I'm thinking like what is the sales strategy?
So I used to have sticker packs when I had other colleges that I was selling, and I used to sell them through my Etsy. But I will say with my game day buttons that are recently new, I will
Mhm.
sell 3 buy 3 get 1 free, and so
Okay.
that's pretty popular, and I make a good amount of profit off of those.
Yeah.
But for the stickers, they kind of are a free for all, and people just grab them.
Yeah.
People usually will buy 2 or 3 at the same time because they are only
Yeah.
$3, so they don't mind stacking them. But for most of them, people will buy just one.
Gotcha. Okay. And you said you outsource your stickers now
Yes.
through some like Sticker Mule or like a big kind of
Yep.
company like that. Okay. Gotcha. So what is the a little bit of like the business specifics, I guess, like your cost? Like what kind of cost goes into making a sticker? How many do you order at a time? Does that affect your pricing strategy, anything like that?
So I usually order about 50 at a time.
Okay.
More so the popular stickers I'll get on sale, and so I'll make, more profit off of them, but I average about 50% profit off of every single sticker.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
And so I imagine being a junior now, so doing this for 3 years, you've probably seen your products get out there on campus. Like I'm sure you
Yes.
see them around, water bottles, stickers, or like pins on game day. Like I'm sure you see it around.
Mhm.
What has that been like?
Oh, it's been great. I think that is honestly my favorite part, building this community of friends and just, they just will go out and tell their friends about me. And then at the farmer's market, they'll stop by and they'll mention, oh, so and so. And it's just so cool to see the people that want to support me. And then, my friends in my classes, like
Mhm.
I tell them I'm a little timid about sharing my business with them, but for the most part, I will share with them. And, they're there every Wednesday supporting me, purchasing something. Young Life is a big community of friends. And so,
Gotcha.
they all know that I run this business and that, you know, they want to support me however they can. And it's just such a great opportunity and so cool to see everybody,
Yeah.
have my sticker or have my game day button.
Yeah. Well, that's such a cool thing about having like such a visible business that people are
Hmm.
using. Like the only way they can showcase your business is like by having it somewhere public, on their water bottle or laptop or a backpack or whatever
Yeah.
it might be. So that's like really cool, good built-in marketing. I'm sure people are starting to say like, "Oh, that's a Julia Kelly sticker." Um,
Yes.
how do you create your designs, by the way? I guess that's a big question we didn't really cover. Like digitally, how do you digitally create them?
So I have my iPad. My iPad's my best friend. I draw everything on there. I sometimes will use Canva if I need to, like, you know, line it up correctly, or I just like have an idea that I just want to get out.
Okay.
But Canva and Procreate on my iPad.
Procreate. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. And that was pretty easy to get into. Did you have to have like too much artistic skill getting into that or not really?
No, Procreate's really easy to work with, so that was nice. I just kind of set up the thing and I drew and figured out I really taught myself how to use it,
Yeah.
honestly.
Okay, cool. That's encouraging. I feel like it's a
Yeah.
very accessible business to get into, especially when you can outsource them and you don't have to even have a Cricut.
Hmm.
You just make the designs, send them
Yep.
to Sticker Mule, boom, get them in the
Great.
mail. Um, do you have any like repeat customers that you see across these? I know the Wednesday farmers markets is a weekly thing. Other JMU pop-ups. Any like relationships you've grown with people over the years, like being your most solid supporters?
I would say definitely people that come to the farmers markets, they'll, stroll by every Wednesday and
Yeah.
they'll end up getting something. But I used to do a customs a lot. And so with customs, yes, I would build those relationships, but because I'm mostly through Etsy and the farmers markets now,
Mm.
it's kind of just whatever I have to offer.
So Etsy is definitely a big sales channel for you.
Hmm. Yes.
I know in your story you mentioned like you had tried out your own website at one point and
Yes.
then kind of went back to Etsy. So what is the, being part of Student Made too, what is kind of the balance that you find there in terms of like sales you get through different platforms like online Student Made JMU, pop-up Student Made JMU, Etsy? Is the JMU community finding you on Etsy, or is that more of like a different audience from anywhere?
That's a really good question. I would say that most of my Etsy community is people that I have no clue who they are,
Mm,
but they're just shopping on Etsy for grad gifts or
yeah,
birthday gifts, and they just come across me.
gotcha.
Definitely through Student Made, it is mostly students and potentially alumni. We did a really big mass email out to College of Business alumni,
Hmm.
and a lot of alumni purchased some items from us, so that was really cool. But I would say that I've recently been getting consistent orders throughout my Etsy. And so I just packaged 2 orders right before I hopped on this call. And
Wow.
so it's just super cool to see all the orders go out to different places around,
Yeah.
the country and stuff.
Yeah, right from JMU, shipping all around the
Yep.
country. I guess it's good to start that presence now because you're reaching customers already that are not on campus. So when you graduate, it's not like you're dropping a big audience there. You already, you're going to be continuing to reach people off campus and maybe on campus, maybe some
Yep.
students or, will find you on Etsy. That'd be pretty cool. And then you have the on campus orders. So
Yep.
how has that system worked? So like if someone buys from you on campus, do you like meet up with them or they come to the farmers market for pickup?
Yeah, so I'll text them. I'll be like, hey, thank you so much for your order. I really appreciate it. And we will find a time to meet, whether
Yeah,
that is the farmer's market or, I'm in College of Business and they also have a class in College of Business. We'll meet up then. But I
nice.
usually try to get to their order to them as soon as possible.
Cool. That must be neat walking into the business school like, yeah, I have a business. I'm
It
making
is
my
very
business
cool.
drop-offs
Yes.
in the business building. That's very hands-on. Like, yes, I
Hmm.
am a business student and I actually have a business. I guess talking a little bit about what you're studying at JMU. So you are marketing major, minor in entrepreneurship. I know you said that was from a love of really all things social media and sharing things on
Hmm.
different social platforms, creating content. How does that, curious how that influences your own business? Obviously, social media being like so important for growing a brand, growing a following, showing your behind the scenes process. I know you do a lot of that, like pack orders with me, all those
Hmm.
kinds of things. What has your social media strategy been for maybe other creators listening,
Hmm.
wanting to kind of grow their brand presence or find their style?
So I would definitely say social media is a big part in my business. I get most of my orders from my social media because that's where I'm promoting it,
Mhm.
unless of course it's like Etsy. But I would say being consistent with your postings. If you scroll down through my Instagram, actually, you see a lot of my posts that were scheduled, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you would see the numbers increase of analytics because you were being consistent posting.
Mm,
I will say I was definitely more consistent posting in high school, but then when it came to college, it has been a rough few years trying to be consistent with posting and everything, so that is hard. But as I try to be consistent as much as possible, because you only see growth when you are posting, you know, every other day or every day.
Yeah, that seems to be the story we typically hear.
Yeah.
How has, so going back, I guess, a little to the community you have through Student Made. So how, I know there's a lot of built-in events through that. So I imagine that helps you balance business and school, because I imagine school can get overwhelming pretty quick. And if you didn't have any like accountability, you could just put your business on the back burner for like weeks and weeks, I imagine. So has that been helpful? I imagine like having set pop-ups every Wednesday, you know, like I gotta make inventory to be at this farmer's market. Has that kind of like kept you going, kept you consistent?
Definitely. I mean, I don't think, like I said, I would be here if JMU Student Made was not here, present, and keeping me going. I think I would not have pursued my business like I would have liked to. And I just think the farmers markets every week have just been such a great opportunity to meet other creators too and spend time with them, get to know them, how they create their products.
Yeah.
I think we have so many different creators that offer so many different things. And so that's really awesome too, to meet people like where they have ideas that, you know, I might not have. And so that's really cool.
Totally. Yeah, I imagine what's so cool about that too is just meeting so many people who are really engaging in their passion on campus. It's like we were talking about Tess Riley, like, you know, her business background, like her wanting to be an entrepreneur goes back so long. And here she is like getting to grow her jewelry business on campus and like showcase that just meeting people like that who find so much joy, I feel like, in what they are able to do. That's got to be inspiring to be around. Any like stories or creators that stand out to you that you're like, love their story, love like learned this from them, or like brands that you are impacted by or want to follow in any way?
There's definitely creators on Instagram that, you know, that I'm friends with through our small business, but I would say at Student Made it would probably be Tess. Tess is, I could talk about her for days. She's just a bubble of energy. Literally every time you talk to her, she has the biggest smile on her face and just so encouraging, remembers every single thing that I tell her and will follow up the next week when we meet, and is just so sweet and kind and just has the biggest heart for everything. I mean, I always say like Tess does it all, and I don't know how she does it because I go crazy when I'm like getting overwhelmed, but Tess truly can do it all and still do it all with a smile on her face.
Wow.
So
how about a testimony for Tess? All right. Put the Tess and testimony. So we kind of made our way through most of that Student Made and, you know, being at JMU chapter. Would love to kind of take all this we talked about and look toward the future, like post-grad. I mean, you have a year left going into your senior year. Before we get there, would love to do just a short commercial script about where people can shop your products and support Student Made overall.
Hi, this is Julia Kelly, and thanks for listening to my story. Be sure to check out my stickers, game day buttons, and stationery at studentmadejmu.com. Some of my favorites right now are my game day buttons and college stickers. Some of my inspiration behind these pieces are from when I was a junior in high school and was finding out more about the colleges around me, and also when I was applying to them. You can find my collection linked in today's episode show notes and in the stickers collection on the website. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the show. I would say that I also have learned how to work with a team really well. And I know that's kind of random, but working with a team is very important because you are on a team, you know, for the rest of your life, whether it's your 9 to 5 or, you know, you have a husband and kids, like you are always going to be working with somebody. And so I've really learned how to work on a team well with communication, you know, planning things out and meeting the deadlines. I think that has really taught me a lot in college.
Nice. Yeah, I want to talk more about that for sure. Your manager side. I know you said that's been the most impactful part of Student Made, being both a creator and a manager. Not only from what you just said, like learning all of the teamwork aspects, but also seeing both sides of the program, I think is huge. Like, what do creators need to be successful and how do I provide that as a manager? Kind of seeing both both sides. Through your manager role, I know you've got to help a lot of other small businesses in addition to your own. Curious just to hear a little bit more about that. How have you gotten to see other small businesses be successful, and what have you been able to do specifically to help them?
Yeah, so I would say that, you know, not all business owners really truly realize the importance of product pictures and professional headshots and the marketing side. And obviously, I'm a marketing major, so that is really something that I'm strongly passionate about.
Yeah.
People come to me, asking for product pictures, and I leave them with the product pictures that they've been wanting, and they don't potentially like have the same eye as I do. And so when I think, oh, I think this would look really good, they really really like it, and then you end up seeing it on their Instagram, which is really cool. And I just love being there for the creators to come to me and ask me questions like, hey, how do I do this? How do
Yeah.
I edit this reel? I think a lot of the times they have the creativity, but sometimes they just, you know, want that extra help to actually bring it to life. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of where I step in, is bringing it to life and creating the ideas that they have in their heads.
Very neat. Wow. Yeah, like we talked about earlier, having that accountability, like for them to just keep going with their business,
Yep.
like knowing that there's a bunch of other creators that they're connected with, but also having this manager team to go to if there's like any roadblock they're coming up
Yep.
against, to be like,
Hmm.
okay, it must be just a really nice, like reassuring feeling, like, okay, I can go to a manager team to get better pictures of my products without having to like figure it all out on my own. So
Yeah,
um
totally. I think even my freshman year, when I had heard about the content creation manager, I was like, oh, I need to take advantage of this because they have something to offer that, I possibly can't do. And so I'm going to reach out to them.
Yes, yes. And product photography is so crucial for social media, as we mentioned, to create your style, how you want it to come across.
Yep.
Pictures on the website makes a big difference. Have you seen, I guess, for yourself over time, your quality change with that?
Definitely. I would say most of my product pictures consist of natural lighting, bright and really focused on the product. I would say that my favorite product pictures of all times are the ones on the quad with the Wilson building behind me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I'm going to do my product pictures when I graduate, but I'll find something else pretty. But I would say my pictures over time have grown so tremendously.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking back, I'm like, oh wow, I don't know how I made sales.
Right. Yeah. So this is really exciting. I'm very excited to talk about this. What you said in your story, like your future ambitions regarding entrepreneurship. So not only for your own business, you said Richmond, I think going back to Richmond. Yeah, I would love to hear the details of that. And also kind of transitioning from what we were just talking about, helping other businesses. I think that really ties into your future goals too. So tell me about Shop Julia Kelly vision one day. What does that look like?
Um, okay. So my ideal vision for Shop Julie Kelly is to fully run it and be my 9 to 5,
Hmm.
be a boutique somewhere in Richmond. A brick and mortar is my dream. However, I know that it can be hard when you have very limited products. And
Mm.
so I think post grad, a year or two later, I want to branch out to more colleges around, especially in Virginia or the southern schools where game day buttons are just, the thing, like
Mhm.
very popular. And then if I'm able to bring in enough orders through my Etsy, potentially transition into, opening my own office or somewhere where I can keep all of my business things related to that one space. And then, hiring and possibly branching out into like something physical.
Mm.
I think that I would say I've seen a lot of popularity through the stickers and the game day buttons because everybody goes to college or
Mm.
is aware of a college, and so they
Yeah.
have a fan favorite. And so really seeing the potential with that has been really in like sitting in the back of my head.
Yeah. Yeah. Like college is a huge market for everything,
Hmm.
really.
Yeah.
So you said, okay, so strategy would be to like start a presence at other Southern campuses
Yes.
through your own products or through other. I know you talked in your story about like kind of outsourcing, or maybe not outsourcing, but like making a collective of
Yes.
other creators. Yeah.
So definitely through my own products, kind of following the same style of my product stickers now.
Hmm.
But along with outsourcing, I would love to outsource other small businesses that, might be on the smaller side of things. And so selling their products in my boutique, I think, is a great way to support them as well.
Mm,
Because, what if they can't get into a boutique? And so
yeah.
I want them to still be in physical locations as well.
Gotcha. Well, Student Made has a big presence in the South, so you could have your pick there of all the
Yeah.
creators. So I know there's
Yes.
it makes me think of Troy University. There's a creator there, Lainey Kelly. Actually, your same last name. Look at that.
Oh my
Crazy.
goodness.
Lainey Kelly. She
That is
does a lot
cool.
of game day stuff. I know she does the buttons and the pins and
Okay.
all that kind of stuff. So Student Made
Good.
Troy, that's where she would be. I think she might be a senior, so this might be her last year,
Okay.
um but yeah, I could see, I don't know, I could see like if because once you graduate, you're no longer selling on Student Made JMU. Lainey won't be on Student Made Troy. If there's another kind of platform out there that I think you could be it, Julia. I think you could be like the Student Made alumni sales boutique. Just get all your
Yeah.
favorite creators, keep their products going, and then they're already at their own. They're an alum of all these different campuses, so that gets you there.
Hmm.
And I don't know, maybe they could pay, or you could take like a commission for selling through your site. You could build the website.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Would it still be called Shop Julia Kelly, or do you always want to keep that name?
I've been holding on to rebranding for a while now. I just haven't had the right time to rebrand because I don't want to rebrand too early, but I also don't want to rebrand too late. But I do have a name in mind for my rebrand.
Okay, you don't have to give it away now. Keep the trademark a secret. Um,
Yes, yes.
okay, so physical store one day. Do you have any other physical sales channels? I guess after leaving JMU, the farmers markets, do you have any like pop-ups you anticipate doing back in Richmond or elsewhere throughout the country, kind of before you get to your boutique stage?
Probably. I'm not really sure. Richmond is a very big, dense area population.
Mm,
So probably I just don't have any in mind. I sometimes will take my products to a winery nearby and
mm,
sell, and that's pretty popular. I would say that I struggle with pop-up shops because my market is not that.
yeah,
Uh, Mostly college students are willing to
yeah.
pay $3 for a sticker, I would say,
I wonder if you could do like co-branded stickers for like that winery, for example. Like, could you make
mhm.
a collection specific to that winery? A whole I mean, who wouldn't buy wine stickers? I mean, come on.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I've definitely collaborated with other local businesses, which has been really fun. And just to see, my products in their store. There's a permanent jewelry
Mm,
company in Richmond where she's a big fan of Taylor Swift. And so I created stickers for them and I create little tote bags for them. So I definitely love working with other small businesses.
yeah. Yeah. Collaborations are always great.
Yeah.
And when you have your style, I feel like you can create a whole line of stickers like so quickly. Like the wine, for instance. Like
Yeah.
I could just see that now. One thing you mentioned in your story that I thought was very like mature perspective is maintaining this long-term sustainability and recognizing how important adaptability is. So we talked about that a little bit with coming to college, like, okay, what products am I going to create now that are suited to this audience? Um, what areas do you think going forward will be the biggest for you in terms of adaptability, continuous growth? You talked about your changing your brand. Um, Maybe the
Hmm.
rationale behind that. I'd be curious to know. Like, what does Shop Julia Kelly kind of convey now? What would your name in the future be? And well, you don't have to say your name, but what's the reason for the rebrand? Or any other ways you see kind of being adaptable and how that's going to help you navigate like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road.
Yeah. So Definitely, adjusting to post-grad life. I'm not sure what that looks like, where I'll live, if I go back home to Richmond or move somewhere not in my current plan. So I think that is definitely something in itself of just adjusting to wherever I'm living and running my business. I hope to continue my business. My ultimate goal is for my stickers to just go all viral on Etsy, all of the ones that I have listed, not just my JMU ones. And I hope that, I can continue creating these stickers and outsourcing them. I have before I came to college this year, I made, because I actually opened my Etsy recently. And so probably in the summer is when I opened it back up because I was using my website, but I made this little bin with, packaging materials, my stickers, like everything just all in one. And so when I get an order, I pull that out and I package my order and I bring it to the local post office, which is great. And so I just want my business to be accessible wherever I am and flexible wherever I am. And then also with the rebrand, I love my name, Shop Julia Kelly, but I'm not going to keep my name forever too. And so why keep that rebrand when I'm not going to keep my name? And then also the reasoning behind my new rebrand has like a really important meaning to me.
Gotcha.
And so I'm really excited to finally pursue that, whenever the time comes.
Yeah, I'll be excited to hear whenever it's out there and announced. I'll be looking forward to seeing what that is. Well, great. I feel like we've been through a lot of the journey there of Shop Julia Kelly over the last 5 years. Signature question for you. This is a question we ask on every episode. A 60-second snapshot, you would say, is like your top moment, your, one moment that stands out to you the most looking back. What would that be and why?
I would say my top moment probably would be student made in the farmers markets. I think that is where I really got my drive to continue my business and pursue it, in college. I think that was really inspiring to see all the other creators there too, and just see that if they can do it, then I can do it, you know. Just being able to participate every single Wednesday is truly a blessing. And JMU Dining works hand in hand with us and is so great and just so welcoming. So I'm just truly grateful for the opportunity because not every school is able to have the same amount of pop-ups as us. And so...
Well, that was awesome. Thank you so much to Julia for being our wonderful and inspiring guest today. Again, you can find our podcast, Making It Creative, on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon Music, so please subscribe there, and we would also love your help sharing this episode with anyone you think would enjoy it. For next time, we will be chatting with our co-founder, Lindsay, on 4 ways to make the most of limited time, something I think every entrepreneur can relate to, especially when you're running a side hustle and have many other things competing for your time, like final exams right now, in the case of Julia. So we will see you there next time, and until then, make it creative.